why you'll never make any money in crypto. If you think about what's happening in the market right now and how everybody's feeling, all of the news, I'm going to talk about some really key things that have been said by JP Morgan in the past couple of years. And I'm going to show you what they've done on the chart following from that and why right now is probably a really exciting time in crypto, even though it might not feel like it. Guys, this is the Wall Street cheat sheet, which is basically showing you the different emotions of a market cycle. I've shown many people on my channel this over and over again, but I can't tell you enough why it's so important, because when it was at 60k you probably felt great about buying. Right now you feel terrible about buying, you just want to sell. But why is that, guys? What is going on in the markets? Why is all this news coming out about Celsius? Why are all the banks telling us that it's going to go down to like 8k and worse and worse? Why are all my friends who don't really know anything about crypto telling me I'm an idiot right now for being in crypto? Well, because actually they're really the idiots, and very few people will make money in crypto. And I hope to be one of the people who does make money in the long run. So what you got to really do, guys, is follow the big money, because the big money is doing things, and it's so obvious if you can find those breadcrumbs they're leaving behind. Look at this, guys. After we have these kind of blow off tops crazy, what do we go into? Panic, capitulation, anger, depression, blah, blah, blah. Crypto winter. It's so exciting because now we've got an opportunity to not just have to like sell everything we own to try and buy as much crypto as possible, but we've got a bit of time to accumulate, and accumulation is the name of the game. So there's two, guys, this is a weekly chart for Bitcoin. I want to show you what is going on right now. So these two lines, the 5th of April 2021, 21st of February 2022, and I'm sure I probably could draw more, but I didn't really want to spend hours and hours trying to sift through news stories. But what I'm going to show you right now is two news stories from JP Morgan. So I want to jump into the first one, guys. JP Morgan adjusts its Bitcoin target to 130,000. This was on the 5th of April 2021. Jumping into the Bitcoin chart, 5th of April 2021, it actually was like 7th of April, I'm lying, just a couple of days after, but obviously this is a weekly chart. They predicted right here that it was going to go to 130k. At that time, the price was 59,635. Now, bearing in mind, guys, these banks make billions and billions of dollars a year. Do you reckon that they make billions and billions of dollars a year buying tops of markets like this? Do you think that they're that stupid that they would buy the top of a market? But what did they actually do when it was at this point? They told everyone that it was worth nearly 3 times the value that it was at that point. And then literally the next week, we saw a spike towards the upside and then we dropped. Why did this happen? What was going on, guys? And then the next story, guys. 21st of February, 2022. Okay, we had seen a bit of a dip. We were sitting around 37k. Bitcoin, JP Morgan readjusts its long-term target to 150k. Okay, well, what happened then? We did have a little bit of a pushback to the upside, and then again, we saw a big push towards the downside. They are not stupid, guys. They know what is happening. And do you know why they know what's happening? Is that basically the big money controls the markets. And what are they trying to make you do at these levels? Well, really, what they want to do is they want to sell their crypto. Because they've obviously bought lower levels. Okay, they bought down here. And when you've got billions and billions of crypto to sell, it's quite difficult to sell it. Because if you start selling it off in big chunks and everyone else is trying to sell it off in big chunks, well, it gets down here and you kind of can't really make any profit anymore. So you need to sell it to people who are willing to buy it at these levels. How do you get people to buy it at these levels? Well, you create these dramatic news stories that are telling you that it's going to go up, and all of the news is very positive. So we get very positive news at the top of markets because the institutions are the ones who are controlling the news. Okay, they can go out and make these statements. It's going to go to the moon, guys. Get involved. And then what happens when we're down at this level down here right now? We sat at what, 21,067. You know, if JP Morgan says right now, well, you can double your money by buying into this area, then you're going to go up here. But notice that the big money isn't telling you that right now. Why is it not telling you that? Well, because they don't want you to buy the cheap crypto. They want to buy the cheap crypto. They need you to sell it. So they create fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Okay, FUD, whatever you want to call it. Basically, right now, crypto is very, very low. People are screaming, what is going on? Everyone's thinking it's going to go to 10k. I'm going to get my chance to buy 8k. Every time in the past, I've heard people talking like this. Like here, people are going, I'm going to wait until it's 100k before I even think about selling, or I'm never going to sell. And then bang, they sell, and they sell down here, and then they come back up. And then the big banks offload their crypto again, it comes back down. But right now, the big money accumulates because they need to buy it at the cheapest, best value. You can see across to before, what you can see, guys, in this region through here. I'll zoom in, guys, on this little area down here. You can see for a few weeks we bounced about. What were they doing? They're accumulating crypto at this point, okay? They can't make the price shoot up too fast. They accumulate crypto, prices bounce, then it kind of drops again, and they're kind of accumulating it. Every time it's dropping down, they're accumulating it. They're selling off because that's what smart money does. So the reason people never make any money in crypto, guys, because they buy at the kind of the tops. This is when it's in the news. This is when it's on CNBC. This is when everyone's really, really excited. And they keep buying into these markets thinking that it's going to carry on forever because the human brain tricks us into believing that a pattern is continuing. A pattern is continuing to form towards the upside. You can show me a million indicators right now telling me everything that's going to happen, that we're going to probably like crawl down here and whatever. All of these indicators that everyone uses all the time drives me crazy, guys, because indicators, they show you like past action in markets. They're just kind of like repeating previous patterns, and the brain is designed to see these previous patterns and think that we've got the better of it. But ultimately, if you do that, the banks, etc., are the ones who are going to pull the strings against you, and that's where you get screwed. Because relying on things that have happened in the past is completely useless. Because actually you can see what's happened in the past. When the news was good, we dumped. When the news was good, we dumped. And again, now the news is bad, and in my opinion, we're going to do the opposite. So right now, I'm thinking things are looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Quite excited. If we jump into a smaller time frame on the Bitcoin price, guys, obviously we had that news yesterday with regards to the US interest rates. What we're starting to see on this sort of area through here is again potentially some sort of an accumulation zone here. We've got some nice wicks towards the downside, showing that there is buying pressure. Now that doesn't mean we can't just slide off. In terms of like a pattern and things that are forming right now, I don't really think that we need to deal too heavily with technical analysis in terms of the patterns and things we see, because those patterns ultimately don't really exist. They're kind of just things that we are seeing or trying to see in our minds. And yeah, now and then patterns do play out and show us things are going on, but ultimately supply and demand, where is the big money willing to buy at, where is the big money willing to sell at? You can look back to previous data. I showed you what happened before. Guys, this is dragging it all the way back to November, December 2020, and this is the green box I've just put onto that chart. Now you can see that we are perhaps a little bit higher than the previous kind of accumulation zone that was happening through here. This is where they were willing to buy at because they pushed the prices into here. There was accumulation going on at these points. So this is the price that they're willing to pay for it. Ultimately, it's undervalued. They know it's now undervalued. People don't realize it's undervalued because they still think that it's going to get lower. If they're actually interested in crypto still, they're still being greedy and they think they're going to pull the bottom and they're going to get lower and lower and lower and lower. But you know what happens, guys? We get accumulation, and then look, this is the final day of accumulation that happened around 16th of December. In about 4 to 8 hours, we went up $5,000. Another bit of accumulation happened here, and then again another shot. So within perhaps, so from the 16th of December and let's say the 26th of December, Boxing Day, which was pretty much 10 days, we went up nearly $11,000. There's an opportunity right now to buy crypto where you're going to be able to make some ridiculous gains. You don't have to go for these crazy altcoins anymore, because ultimately those are for when the markets are, you don't have to go buying crazy altcoins right now, guys. Bitcoin's like the blue chip crypto, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, all of these big cryptos, you know, ultimately they have market caps that will eventually get restored towards all-time highs. For Bitcoin to go back to all-time highs is going to be a 234% gain. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen next week. I'm not saying it's going to happen in the next 6 months. Who knows exactly when it's going to happen? But realistically, it's more than likely that it is going to happen. In terms of a percentage chance of a win and against a potential downside, yeah, if it does drop to, let's say, 16,000 and I buy there, then that's going to be a bigger push towards the upside of like, you know, 316%. But basically what's going to happen, guys, probably going to bounce like this. Everyone's going to panic and think, oh, I've missed it. They'll go and buy it like 32k or something. It'll probably then get 32k and it'll come back down to around the same level, and everyone will then have massive panic. They'll then send their crypto once more to the banks, etc. And then guess what happens? So right now, guys, take it calm and steady. What I'm doing, not financial advice, by the way, because I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just trying to do this the way that the banks do it, because the banks make money, and a lot more money than I'll ever make, and a lot more money than perhaps you or anyone else will ever make, realistically, guys, do what the big money is doing because it's a bit of a no-brainer. It's how the Forex market works. It's how pretty much all institutional-driven markets work, and crypto has become an institutional-driven market because its market cap has approached an attractive size and it's got lots of institutions, and everyone wanted institutions to get involved because that's when they thought they were going to get rich. But you know what happens when the institutions get involved? They're going to start playing their game. It's not going to go like it used to down here, where it was perhaps driven by a lot of hype and stuff, because the market caps were much smaller back then. Institutions paid attention, and now institutions want in. Back then, the institutions weren't really that interested. Right now, when you get money like this into markets, institutional investment comes in. That's when we get these huge, massive rallies towards the upside, rallies towards the downside, and all of this chop in between, and that's what makes it exciting to be in. But really, guys, just play the market. Stop buying tops. And I got called stupid when I was saying to sell Solana when it was like $350. I in fact got like abuse in the comment section from various people, and literally within like 15 minutes it fell 80%. I'm not saying I'm a genius and everyone else isn't. I'm just saying that right now everyone is panicking because the monkey brain is telling us that we should be panicking. We should be running away from this because obviously we might have been burned already. But, you know, selling here, if you didn't sell here, then don't sell here, you know? If it's a bit of a no-brainer, guys. If you couldn't bring yourself to sell here, then 100% don't sell here. Unless you desperately need that money out for whatever reason, in which case you probably shouldn't have been playing it in the first place, because we are probably going to have a little bit more of a push, and we might see some sort of aggressive wick towards the downside because it's going to collect more sell orders, and then it's going to go on its merry way. Things are looking good for Bitcoin. I'm very excited about what's happening in crypto right now. Perhaps a lot calmer than I've been during this last period of time, because I feel like the end is in sight. Again, could be wrong. Just what I'm seeing right now, things are looking good. Stop taking all of this fear and turning it into something it's not, because it's designed to make you feel that way. When the news is negative, when people are panicking and crying and worrying, that's when I buy. When people are hyped up and telling me you're an idiot if you don't buy crypto, that's when I'm selling, guys. Just do the opposite of what the guy down the pub is telling you to do. If your parents are telling you and calling you up saying they're worried about you because your crypto has dropped, you know, they're only seeing that on the news because the news is designed to get you to make a reaction and sell. They're buying your reactions. And when at the top you're all hyped up, they're going to sell your reaction. I hope that's been some nice, honest truth of what I think is going on right now. Supply and demand trading has absolutely been a game changer for me in Forex. And I think crypto doesn't quite react exactly the same way, but it's starting to get there. So go and learn more about supply and demand trading, in my opinion, if you're interested in trading. I'm not going to sell you loads of Bybit links and stuff. Not really that interested in that, guys. I think you're better off going and finding out yourself more about trading in terms of supply and demand, as well as that trading psychology and lots of other things. I will try and bring some more content like that towards this channel in the future once I get a bit more settled, as I'm about to move house. Guys, hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please smash the like button. It helps me get content like this to more and more people, which I think is important because hopefully I'm talking some truths that I'm actually not seeing coming out of a lot of other people's mouths right now. And if you're new to the channel, then make sure you smash the subscribe button, not the like button, to be kept up to date with all the latest happening. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with another video.